I guess it's just one of those elements of understanding, right? Sayaka's literally suffering too, so the stuff that she says might not be genuine either.
バカだよ私。なんてこと言ってんのよ。
Yeah, see? Exactly.
助けようがないよ。
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stone-Faced Reactions. I'm Theta, and we are back with some more Madoka Magica. We are on episode 8, I believe, which is like not that far from the end. Still don't know what I might do after Madoka Magica. I only bring that up specifically because there apparently is a lot more media. I realize I just said like 4 from the end. There are movies or OVAs or whatever I'm aware of. Those are already on the schedule to watch, so we're not technically 4 from the end. What I mean to say is there's like prequel material and side material and material that covers specific characters from the shows and their stories outside of this. I think it's on my current schedule to just keep going with the world of Madoka Magica. But again, if you guys are like, nah, that's a bad idea, this is the show, only watch this show, I will listen to that feedback, but otherwise I don't know off the top of my head. So, just putting that out there. First off, though, for this episode, we have comments. Marta Kirianami from the Patreon, from the episode Can You Face Your True Feelings? I've forgotten to say, I'm so happy you're watching Madoka. With how you like to theorize, there's a lot to love in PMMM. Holy Magi, Madoka Magica, I believe that is. I know it's like literally right there, but that's like the limit of my vision. If you were doing like an eye test on me, whatever's above Madoka Magica would be the part I wouldn't be able to read. My lips are sealed, worry not. Smiley face, smiley face. I believe you also included a message about I can't believe people are spoiling you, but you were responding to a comment that I said about other shows. Well, technically you responded to a comment I said about all of the YouTube comment section. But, there's nothing I can do about that. I want the interaction. I can't control what the interaction is. It's just my general statement of fact is if you're going to put out a spoiler, I'm not going to read it. You're not going to get any interaction. So I guess that's just what that is. Canaris4 from the Patreon, Can You Face Your True Feelings? Timestamp 4710 for that episode. That couldn't have been Terminator Time Travel. Terminator Time Travel involves a lot more nudity. I was just referring to the flickering lightning effect, obviously. Obviously, I have no idea what the hell she was actually looking at because she's looking at that thing. I guess that was the portal to the Witch's Labyrinth, technically. But yeah, no, you're right. I mean, obviously, I get the joke. And I wouldn't want that because they're like too young. They're too young. I don't want to see that. We have Phil Fisher from I'm Not Afraid of Anything Anymore. Trivia. This anime series is written by Gen Urobuchi, who is also the writer of Fate Zero. Several of his famous works have thriller and or horror elements and violent deaths, so some fans have affectionately nicknamed him as Urobucher. Or Urobucher. Sorry, I keep saying Butcher. It's the combination of Uro being in front of it. Urobutcher. Sorry, it's some reason so hard for me to spit that out. I guess the thing is that oddly, I have Henry on the other side who is suggesting other works from the director of Fate Zero. So, from this perspective, I'm now hearing about the writer of Fate Zero and his connection to Madoka Magica, and Henry telling me about the director of Madoka Magica and their connection to Studio Shaft, I want to say it was. Sorry, the element is that I know basically nothing from Studio Shaft beyond Madoka Magica, and now I know something else from that director, whose name escapes me right now because it's not in front of me, which is Le Portrait de Petite Cosette, I believe was the name of it. Check that out once it hits YouTube. And lastly, we have Crystal the Wolf from I'm Not Afraid of Anything Anymore. This episode, when it originally aired, nobody knew what was going to happen apart from those who were making the series due to how it was marketed in a much more lighthearted manner. I mean, yeah, I think I brought that up, like in episode 1, that the one thing I knew was that there was going to be a twist in episode 3. And I only knew that because of some like article I had written and write it that I had read sometime before, which literally had a picture of Mammy looking up like she does just before she gets her head bitten off. I didn't know what the context for that shot was, so obviously I didn't expect Mammy to be killed, but I knew there was going to be some sort of twist. And to be fair, that happens right at the end of the episode. So, very much had to have been there. Either way, I don't know what the rest of it is going to be about. Like, right now we're on Sayaka's journey of going mental, and Kyoko's, I don't know what her journey is. It seems like acceptance, but she already feels like she's in a place of acceptance, but now having to deal with somebody else. I don't know. I guess also the whole Akemi thing. You know what? Literally, these are things from my notes. Sorry, I'm diving off the deep end on thoughts already. I'll put it off for a couple more minutes. Obviously, though, we do have a board, and with the board comes the board changelog. Not very much here. I added purple lines from Sayaka and Hitomi to Kamijo because obviously they both have a thing for him. I don't know why I didn't add any from Sayaka before, but I have now. And of course, with the revelation that Hitomi is also for it, uh, one from her. Granted, this might just be an element of the whole wish thing, that the wish has consequences and apparently everybody has to pay for it. I know this is actually a thought that I have in my notes when we get there, but it just feels like this is out of the blue, but it doesn't not make sense. So, eh. Alright, to the notes then. I suppose it's an expression of Sayaka's state of mind that even after discovering that the real her is in the soul gem, she just callously tosses it on her desk when she gets home. The idea that the body isn't her true form, yet she acts, at the start of the episode anyways, like the gem is still just a thing, and discards it, like her keys, while acting as the body. So, I mean, clearly at the end of the episode, she kind of makes that distinction when she goes mental, but start of the episode, though, goes a ways to showing where she's starting at versus where she ends up. You humans don't even realize you have souls in the first place. Great line to be in the same episode we cover Kyoko's past and her father, the priest. We don't realize we have souls, but hey, let's also talk about my religious upbringing. Conversely, both things said to Sayaka. Kyobi is a manipulative liar, as I've been saying. Speaking of manipulative, let me torture you with pain, unprompted, just to make a point. For some reason, I thought something might have changed in the opening, so I went back and rewatched the episode 1 start as well as the opening. First off, nothing seems to have changed. Secondly, I can only assume that whatever Akemi is fighting in the start of episode 1 was the walpurgis thing that she was just talking about coming in 2 weeks. Pointedly, though, it was only Akemi fighting in that one shot, seeming to imply that Sayaka and Kyoko are lost to us before this. Granted, they could have just gone down just seconds before the scene started, but the way the ending credits make it seem like Madoka is slow walking away from everyone makes me feel like the next few episodes will be more loss before we reach the end. or, as per my theory, the start of the loop. Don't confuse gratitude with responsibility. Has to be equal parts the strongest line in the show so far, but also a complete dig on my theory if Akemi isn't being a hypocrite. My idea that she's in this time loop due to Madoka's wish, that she survived something that was going to kill her, and then her trying to save Madoka from that same fate. Again, only if my theory is true. Could totally see getting to the end and the first part just having been a dream. Still, if this is a Groundhog's Day for Akemi, that could be a lesson that she's learned going through the loop. Why she doesn't directly try and save anyone or tell them what's going on, outside of trying to make Madoka avoid events that would put her on the path to doing what happened in the flash forwards. I know I said this in the reaction, but I'm reiterating it here. I thought only Kyobi could initiate the telepathic links between the girls. More than that, I thought Kyobi had to be around to at least start it, or be conscious of their desire to start it. Seems odd that Kyoko just reached out to Sayaka on her own. The way Kyoko suggests wishes work, I think I brought up last reaction, reminded me of cosmic balance from Star Wars. Essentially, Newton's third law applied to everything. Someone having good luck means someone else is having bad luck. If two people fall in love, somewhere else two people break up, etc., etc. Is there supposed to be some visual metaphor going on between Kyoko biting and tearing into that apple and Sayaka walking away? Because all I could think of was Mami getting her head bitten off. Hitomi and Kamuju does make a certain amount of sense. Hitomi was referred to as princess before, often indicated that she's rich and comes from a well-to-do family. Matching her up with an influential and well-renowned violinist seems like a kind of social stratum. I mean, from characters that don't get a lot of personal development screen time. Also, you have to believe that this follows along with Kyoko's logic of bad stuff happening due to the wish as a part of its cost. Not as extreme as a double murder suicide, aka her backstory, but don't know how far this will go. And lastly, I think Sayaka's view of herself is disingenuous. I mean, I get where she's coming from emotionally, but as a person not living in that world, I can't help but think about it in a fact-based basis. They never knew their souls were separated from their bodies, and likely never would have. That implies that life is exactly the same without your soul in your body as it is with it in there. Pain seems to be the only thing mitigated, as you would have to think one of them would have complained about either some loss of sense or something. Like, is Kyokyo going to mention later that she can't actually taste anything? Likewise, Madoka never mentioned how cold Sayaka was to the touch, so clearly I don't believe that she is. And I'm only mentioning that because Sayaka says something about how could he kiss my cold body or cold lips or whatever. If she's not cold, then that's just something she's making up. Unless, it's a matter of self-interpretation. Oh god, is that why the witches look so fucking weird? Witches are just magical girls that go fucking crazy, and your self-interpretation, or not self-interpretation, your mental representation of yourself is reflected on the outside. So if Sayaka says, I'm cold, she's suddenly going to become cold, and the Madoka's going to be like, oh, you feel cold? So the wonky look of witches is just mental interpretation of what you actually are? I don't know. Maybe I'm just going crazy. That was just spitballing off the top of my head. Finality of the thought here. I think with the revelation of what's happened to her and this new pressing issue, that Sayaka is being dramatic as a way to vent her issues and not particularly being honest with herself. Those are my thoughts, my notes going into the episode. So I say let's go ahead and hop on in and see what we get.
But before we get started,
Make sure that you hit the like button.
hit that subscribe button.
Comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered,
Uncensored.
And uncut.
as well as some early access stuff,
You can check it out over on the Patreon.
it's just $5 a month. But hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
Alright, right where we left off last time. I'm actually more interested to see what she looks like outside of the Shadow Realm. If she's gonna be all torn up and like Mr. Stitch. Oh, okay, I guess no, she's just fine. She does have improved healing, we know that. Oh, how very symbolic that the docks were the statue. Except that you need that too. Yeah, you used up a lot of magic and then you gave up the refresh on the magic. I think I'm right. Maybe not so much. Sorry, the part that I think I'm right about is the element of magical girls become witches. Maybe not so much the element of their mental state depicts what they become, but I almost feel like Kyoko knows this. Well, no, sorry, that doesn't. Well, sorry, I'm just thinking that doesn't make sense to the idea that 4 kills from a familiar makes a witch. But I'm thinking that's just an element of the life cycle. The thing I brought up on the board before. Sorry, there's an element here where I have to talk over the opening, but I'm also forming the thoughts that I'm trying to logic out. So I can't remain silent, but at the same time, talking reduces my ability to think, because that's just the way I work. So familiars eat humans, witches kill humans, humans become magical girls kill witches. I think this is a theory I've already had before. I don't know. I think that's what's happening. I think that's what's going to come into play, that Sayaka is going to become a witch. But this is essentially a hypothesis without evidence. I guess we'll just see what happens if you don't refresh your soul gem enough. You just die. God, it just, reminds me of Kenichi's quote from the last Voltace 5 that we watched. It's hard to fight alone.
死んだ体を動かして生きてるふりをしてるだけ。そんな私のために誰が何をしてくれるっていう。
Again, though, this is all interpretation. She's not like.
でも私は
None of it's actually
どうすれば
real.
幸
I
せ
mean,
になるの
true.
かって。
None of it's really true.
だったらあんたが戦ってよ。キューベイから聞いたわよ。あんた誰よりも才能あるんでしょ。私みたいな苦労しなくても簡単に魔女をやっつけられるんでしょ。私は
Here's the
そんな
here's the element of Kyobi's manipulation, I
私が何か
guess.
しようって言うならまず私と同じ立場になってみなさいよ。無理でしょ。当然だよね。ただの同情で人間やめられるわけないもんね。同情なんてそんな。何でもできるくせに何もしないあんたの代わりに私がこんな目に遭ってるの。
Literally telling you not to suffer.
知ったようなこと言わないで。さやかちゃんついてこないで。
I guess it's just one of those elements of understanding, right? Sayaka's literally suffering too, so the stuff that she says might not be genuine either.
バカだよ私。なんてこと言ってんのよ。
Yeah, see? Exactly.
言いようがないよ。
Because my first inclination is, what a fucking bitch. But it's like, people are hurt people. So where the fuck do you live?
ワルプルギスの夜の出現予測はこの範囲。根拠は何だい？統計よ。
統計？以前にもこの町にワルプルギスが来たなんて話は聞いてないよ。一体何を
Because it
どう
very
統
much
計
seems
した
to
っていう
imply that a magical girl can have a labyrinth almost exactly like a witch does.
お互い信用しろだなんて言えるからでもない
1914
けどさ。
Boucher.
もうちょっと手の内を見せてくれたっていいんじゃない？
A lot of stuff in this background.
アケミホムラ。
どの面下げて出てきやがったてめえ。
やれやれ、招かれざる客ってわけかい。今夜は君たちにとって重要なはずの情報を知らせに来たんだけどね。
はあ？
ミキサヤカの消耗が予想以上に早い。魔力を使うだけでなく、彼女自身が呪いを生み始めた。
誰のせいだと思ってんのさ。
このままだとワルプルギスの夜が来るより先に厄介なことになるかもしれ
Oh,
ない。
do you think that thing was Sayaka? And that's why Sayaka wasn't in the
なんだ
scene?
そりゃ。どういう意味だ？
僕じゃなくて彼女に聞いてみたらどうだい？君ならすでに知っているんじゃないかな、アケミホムラ。
Because you've been there.
やっぱりね。どこでその知識を手に入れたのか、僕はとても興味深い。君は
聞くだけのことは聞いたわ。消えなさい。
Do you not remember how I was trying to kill you at the start? Just unexplained why we stopped.
ほっとくのかよあいつ。
あれを殺したところで何の解決にもならないわ。
You say now.
それよりもミキサヤカだ。あいつの言ってた厄介事ってのは何なんだ？
彼女のソウルジェムは汚れを溜め込みすぎたのよ。早く浄化しないと取り返しのつかないことになる。
It's pretty cool to have a mood-themed house.
あの時追いかけなきゃダメだったのに。
Welcome to the land of regret. Oh, he's doing a lot better.
でもさ、しずきさんって帰る方角はこっちなんだっけ？今まで帰り道に見かけたことって。
You gotta be feeling pretty good to commit to walking a bridge this long on crutches.
逆方向ですわ。じゃあ今日はどうして？上条くんにお話ししたいことがありますの。
Yeah, she said she'd do it the next night. Or evening, whatever.
昨日からそのはい、わかりました。はい、失礼します。 さやかちゃん探さなきゃ。
I mean, who said that? Because why aren't they looking for her? She's just a school student after all. That's a missing persons case. Half a second, I thought she was killing them. Yeah, like, technically, what's the difference between a grief seed and a soul gem?
どうしてわからないの？ただでさえ余裕がないのだから。魔女だけを狙いなさい。
うるさい。大きなお世話よ。
もうソウルジェムも限界のはずよ。今すぐ浄化しないと。使いなさい。
今度は何を企んでるのさ。
いい加減にして。もう人を疑ってる場合じゃないでしょ。そんなに助けられるのが嫌なの。
あんたたちとは違う魔法少女になる。
I mean, she's the one still stupidly blames Akemi for what happened to Mammy. Even if she didn't see it, everyone's telling her she's wrong.
見返りなんていらない。私だけは絶対に自分のために魔法を使ったりしない。
あなた、死ぬわよ。
私が死ぬとしたら、それは魔女を殺せなくなった時だけだよ。それってつまり用済みってことじゃん。ならいいんだよ。魔女に勝てない私なんてこの世界にはいらないよ。
ねえ、どうして？あなたを助けたいだけなの。どうして信じてくれないの？
どうしてかな。
She didn't want to be saved, I guess.
あんたが嘘つきだってこと。あんた何もかも諦めた目をしてる。いつも空っぽの言葉を喋ってる。今だってさ、私のためとか言いながら本当は全然別のこと考えてるんでしょ。ごまかしきれるもんじゃないよ。そういう。
I mean, if she's already experienced this, as per my thought.
あなたはますますマドカを苦しめるのね。
マドカは関係ないでしょ。
That's for Akemi.
何もかもあの子のためよ。あなたって鋭いわ。ええ、図星よ。私はあなたを助けたいわけじゃない。あなたが破滅していく姿をマドカに見せたくないだけ。ここで私を拒むなら、どうせあなたは死ぬしかない。これ以上マドカを悲しませるくらいなら、いっそ私がこの手で今すぐ殺してあげるわ。ミキサヤカ。
I don't know.
おい、さっさと逃げろ。
See, this is a darker turn. Because that is she infatuated? Or obligated via the wish? Or...
正気かてめえはあいつを助けるんじゃなかったのかよ。話して。なるほどね。こんな風にとっ捕まったままだとあの妙な技も使えないってわけか。
Okay. Oh, flashbang. Still not good, though. I guess that's one way. If your weakness is don't touch me, then person's more likely to back off if you drop a grenade. Or they might use you as a meat shield.
稼いできた分はきっちり全額貢がせないと。女ってバカだからさ、ちょっと金持たせとくとすぐ食ったらね、ごとに使っちまうからね。
いやー、ほんと女は人間扱いしちゃダメっすね。犬かなんかだと思ってしつけないとね。あいつもそれで喜んでるわけだし。
It's a bunch of
顔
pimps.
殴るぞって脅せば、まず大抵は黙りますもんね。
ちょっと油断するとすぐつけやがって席入れたいところですからさ。
Not pimps, just assholes, I guess.
てめえみたいなキャバ嬢が10年後も同じ額稼げるかっての。身の程わきまえろってんだ。ね。
捨てる時がさ、ほんとうざいっすよね。 その辺翔さんうまいから羨ましいっすよ。俺も見習わないと。
ねえ、その人のこと聞かせてよ。
はい。
今あんたたちが話してた女の人のこともっとよく聞かせてよ。
お嬢ちゃん中学生。夜遊びは
You
よく
start killing people? Am I right about the witch
そ
thing?
の人あんたのことが大事で喜ばせたくて頑張ってたんでしょ。あんたにもそれが分かってたんでしょ。なのに犬と同じなの。ありがとうって言わないの。役に立たなきゃ捨てちゃうの。
何こいつ、知り合い？いや。
この世界って守る価値あるの？私何のために戦ってたの？
Telling you, I think I'm right.
今すぐ
I think I called it before the episode started.
でないと私。
Kemi should have killed her.
さやかちゃん、どこ？
Unless the idea is that you can still save witches? I mean, if you can save witches, then we've been
君
killing.
も僕の
Well,
ことを恨んでいるのかな。
あなたを恨んだらさやかちゃんを元に戻してくれる？
無理だ。それは僕の力の及ぶ
oh,
こと
so you
じゃない。
can't wish Sayaka to be back? Feels like that's in your power.
ねえ、いつか言ってた私がすごい魔法少女になれるって話、あれは本当なの？
すごいなんて言う
Sorry,
のは
this
勝手な
song
表現だ。
sounds like something I've heard from Dot Hack.
おそらくこの世界で最強の。
私が引き受けてたらさやかちゃんは魔法少女にならずに済んだのかな。
さやかは彼女の願いを遂げた。その点についてマドカは何の関係もない。
Tsukubi seems a lot smaller than they normally are.
どうして私なんかが？
僕にもわからない。はっきり言って君が秘めている潜在能力は理論的にはありえない規模のものだ。誰かに説明してほしいのは僕だって一緒さ。
そうなの？
君が力を解放すれば奇跡を起こすどころか宇宙の法則をねじ曲げることだって可能だろう。
Like
なぜ
time
君一
travel.
人だけがそれほどの素質を備えているのか理由は未だにわからない。
私は自分なんて何の取り柄もない人間だと思ってた。
And what I was referring to before about possibly being able to save witches is the fact that witches have also killed people. So it's not like they would be without sin, without blame.
それは悔しいし寂しいことだけど、でも仕方ないよねって思ってたの。
現実は随分と違ったね。マドカ、君は望むなら万能の神にだってなれるかもしれないよ。
Like, technically, if you can wish for anything, you could wish to be that.
キューベイにできないことでも私ならできるのかな。
というと、
私があなたと契約したらさやかちゃんの体を元に戻せる？
その程度きっと造作もないだろうね。その願いは君にとって魂を差し出すに足るものかい？
さやかちゃんのためなら
Now, Kemi, show up.
魔法少女に。
There we go. Look, I've been drawn as a Kemi. I was already always on the Kemi side.
ひどいよ。何も殺さなくても。あなたはなんであなたはいつだってそうやって自分を犠牲にして。役に立たないとか意味がないとか勝手に自分を粗末にしないで、あなたを大切に思う人のことも考えていい加減にしてよ。あなたを失えばそれを悲しむ人がいるって、どうしてそれに気づかないの？あなたを守ろうとしてた人はどうなるの？
Also, yeah, why do you always sacrifice yourself?
私たちはどこかで会ったことあるの？私と。
Like in a dream?
ごめん。私、さやかちゃんを探す。
Oh, don't fucking just leave her.
さやかはもう。ごめんね。
How do you just leave a Kemi like this?
無駄なことだって知ってるくせに懲りないんだな、君も。代わりはいくらでも
あるけど、無意味に潰されるのは困るんだよね。もったいないじゃないか。
I guess this is why she stopped trying to kill it. Oh, a little bit more disgusting that you're eating it, even though it looks like marshmallow.
君に殺されたのはこれで2度目だけれど、おかげで攻撃の特性も見えてきた。時間操作の魔術だろ、さっきのは。やっぱりね、なんとなく察しはついてたけれど、君はこの時間軸の人間じゃないね。
Oh my right.
お前の正体も企みも私は全て知ってるわ。
なるほどね。だからこんなにしつこく僕の邪魔をするわけだ。そうまでして要まどかの運命を変えたいのかい？
ええ、絶対にお前の思い通りにはさせない。キューベ、いいえ、インキュベーター。
I don't know what that means. Oh, this is like giving birth to stuff, like witches and whatnot. Walpurgis. Giving birth to Walpurgis.
やっと見つけた。あんたさ、いつまで強情張ってるわけ？
悪いね。
She about to die?
かけさせちゃって。
なんだよ。
Is she actually about to kill her by surprise or something?
別にもうどうでもよくなっちゃったからね。結局私は一体何が大切で。
Because again, she's not there in the flash forwards either.
もう何もかもわけわかんなくなっちゃった。おい。希望と絶望のバランスは差し引きゼロだって。いつだったかあんたは言ってたよね。今ならそれよくわか
I
る。
mean, fair, Sayaka is speaking truth, at the very least, even though she's not mental.
だけどその分心には恨みや妬みが溜まって一番大切な友達さえ傷つけて。さやか、あんたまさか誰かの幸せを祈った分他の誰かを呪わずに
Cosmic balance. Look what I said.
私たち魔法少女ってそういう仕組みだったんだね。私ってほんとバカ。
She just became a witch, didn't she? So Soul Gem became a grief seed? My interpretation? Or is Sayaka the Walpurgis?
この国では成長途中の女性のことを少女って呼ぶんだろ。だったらやがて魔女になる君たちのことは魔法少女と呼ぶべきだよね。
Well. Well, been right the whole time about everything. I don't really have much to say. It's the element of being surprised versus being right, and I'm not really that thrown off by being right. Obviously, that I am way more interested in going back and rewatching to figure out everything I was right about, but not from a self-interest point. From a what did they actually say point. Again, I am very disappointed in Madoka for just walking away from Akemi when she's having this little breakdown, because I know she seems psycho. She did drop the gun, though. I mean, didn't feel like she was that big of a threat to you. I don't know. She is a middle school girl, I think, middle school? Or high school girl. And a person just walked up with a gun and shot a thing next to her, so maybe the correct thing to do was to walk away. It's just she's been somebody you've been talking to about responsibility and what to do and everything, and the moment she actually opens up to you emotionally is when you book it.
バカと思うかもしれないけど、私はね、本当に助けられないのかどうか、それを確かめるまで諦めたくない。
And I mean, fair enough.
私が許さない。
fair enough, but I mean, I think the interpretation is already that she's killed 2 people. And that's what I was talking about before when it comes to the element of saving witches, is that you're essentially saving murderers now. And the element therein of, do you sacrifice lives to save a single life versus sacrificing that single life to save all the other lives? So yeah, there is that element at play. I've always said, like from episode 2, maybe, Kyobi, or maybe even episode 1, Kyobi is a manipulative liar. Did not know what their plan was. I mean, technically, I still don't know what their plan is. The fact that they're an incubator and magical girls become witches, as per my board. But I don't know what the purpose of Kyobi creating witches is. Like my thought this episode was literally, is Kyobi trying to bring about the walpurgis, which is 2 weeks away, or it was 2 weeks away last episode. I don't know if it's 2 weeks away still, but I don't really know what the walpurgis is about, other than the actual myth of Walpurgis or Saint Walpurgis. I brought it up in a previous note, so I'm not bringing it up here because obviously I'll talk about it next note section if it is indeed something that is a thing. Like, literally, the idea that the show is bringing about a Walpurgis separate from its own real-life mythos. Otherwise, though, yeah. Again, I'm thrown because usually I would be theory crafting here at the end about stuff that happened in the episode, but literally I theory crafted 100% before the start of the episode, and everything I theory crafted came true, and I'm left with the question of, okay, everything I thought was going to happen. What comes next? And I haven't thought that far, right? I am like the bad guy in every movie whose plan is to take over the world, and they don't have any plan for the world, right? I don't know what we do next. I'm a dog chasing a car. I wouldn't know what to do with it. Yeah. I guess we just leave it there, because again, my problem is that I was too right. And now I don't know what to do with myself. So we're gonna wrap up there. I'll come back with an even more fulfilled out note section, and we'll decide what we think is going to happen from there. So for now, I've been Theta. This has been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?